And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Here, Lucas from Mars, back at you with another video. And this one here, the first video after the trade deadline. And we're going to debut these trades, or these trade pieces, on their new teams. And the first one that we're going to show you is Alex Bregman, who, remember, was traded to the Houston Reapers here. The Reapers go into this matchup against the Winnipeg Wizards with 59 wins, 59-47 on the year, 12 games above 500. Meanwhile, the Wizards, 12 games below 500 at 48-60. But Alex Bregman here debuting with his new ball club. We're going to have a couple of other debuts like that, and then we're going to have Miles Michaelis pitching for the Sharks in his debut game as well against the Spiders later on in this episode. But here's James Paxton. We're not focusing on him, but there's his numbers. But here is Alex Bregman this season so far, 272 average, 14 homers, and 41 RBIs. He's struggled a little bit, especially average-wise against righties this season, but he's having a good year and looks to provide a good offensive boost to a really, really good lineup that has, Freeman, JD Martinez, and Rafael Devers on it. So this is definitely a good lineup here, and we just add another piece to it here, batting second in this lineup. At first is already a runner, and that slider is inside for ball 4. So there is a walk, and he will be on for his first plate appearance with his new ball club. And now Freddie Freeman's going to line up ball into center field. That one gets on through. Mondesi is around third, and Alberto Mondesi will score, making it 1-0. So Houston will take the lead here in this first inning against the pitcher. I think it's Alex Cobb pitching in this one for the Wizards here. We'll figure that out. 111 miles an hour. Actually, Dakota Hudson is pitching. I know Cobb is on this team, but there's a diving play made by Adamas there at second. That was a pretty crazy play. They won't get a double play out of it, but Adamas does get one out there. The first out of the inning, and yeah, wow, diving stop, and from his knee there, throwing it over to second. So now Mike Drew comes up, and Mike Drew is going to ground it over in the gap, and that one will get through. Mike Drew with a base hit into right field, and so 2 men are on here with 1 man out. Mike Drew with a big hit there. Now there's 2 down in the inning, and Yastrzemski takes a sinker there below the knees. Yastrzemski 274 average with 9 homers and 40 RBIs this season. And so now Hudson will lean in on this 1-0 pitch. It is a ground ball over to... Oh, it's going to get through and into left. So there's another run that will score from third base there. That might have been Bregman that came in to score there in that single. Now there's a fly ball here and a high slider, as that one is caught there finally in the gap by Tommy Pham in center. But 3 runs by the Reapers there with 3 or 4 hits. 4 hits in that inning, 3 runs, so a big inning there. But Bregman walked his first time up, and let's see what he does here in his second at bat. So 3-0 game, only the second inning here, as he's going to fly this one into left, and the left fielder is going to be there to make the catch. I believe that's Justin Upton is this team's left fielder. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's who that is there. Now 2 men on, 2 men out for Bregman here in the 4th inning. Still a 3-0 game. Hudson still pitching here on the mound, and that one misses inside a sinker. So the count moves now to 2-1. Here comes a 2-1 from Hudson. It's a swing and a drive, deep right center field. Backing up is Pham. They're at the wall, and that ball is gone. It's just over the wall in right center, and Alex Bregman, his 3rd at bat as a Reaper, is his first home run here as a part of the Houston Reapers in Houston, and his 15th total of the season. 6-0 Houston here now in the 4th inning, and he's going to go say hi to the camera here. He had a pretty big moment earlier in this series. Remember, way back to the first or second game, within the first few games of the season, he had a game-tying home run in the late innings I remember that episode, but that's a big home run from him here in his first one here in Houston. So that's going to be the end of the line for Dakota Hudson, who, I mean, struggled. Just had a couple of bad innings. I mean, the first inning and then that 3-run homer. Now, Julio Cecine will come out of the bullpen for Winnipeg, and he's had some good numbers this season for sure there with a 3.41 ERA. But, man, I really like these Winnipeg jerseys, one of the best in the game. Now, Bregman here, 2-2. He's going to swing and miss. Curveball there. That was a really good pitch by Cecine there. And so now we go into quick managing here. We might not get to see Bregman hit again in this bowl game. Alex Vesia pitching for the Reapers here, and the bases are loaded. Now a walk, a single, and another walk. Ross Stripling does get out of the 8th inning. Brett Suter pitching here on the mound now for the Wizards. 2nd and 3rd. 1 man out, now 2 men out, and no more runs there. We're now in the 9th, and that is going to be a shutout victory for the Houston Reapers. They're now 60th win of the season here, 60 and 57, or 60 and 47 on the year. So they have 60 wins now, and that was a good 7-0 victory here. Home run, a 3-run homer by Alex Bregman there in the 4th inning. One of the big highlights to see from this game. And I mean, 3 more runs by the Reapers in that first inning. They didn't need any more or anything other than that. Another look at that really great play by Willie Adames there at shortstop. And well, at second base, he actually had another one that I didn't show you here. It was another situation, a diving play that wasn't able to be a double play that Adames made. So he made a couple of great diving plays in that inning, but all 4 not here in this one. As you get a look, there's that home run by Bregman here. James Paxton gets his 13th win of the season. 6 innings, 9 strikeouts, 5 hits, and 0 runs on 2 walks for him. Really good bowl game. And so now we're gonna go into another game here and another debut. This time it's going to be Joey Gallo debuting for the Los Angeles Dragons here against the Vancouver Vandals. This is not Pottman Park, unfortunately, so should have been a little bit better about getting them actually into the stadium. But the Dragons so far this season, 4 or 5 games above 500. The Vandals, though, kind of struggling. They're, 11 games below 500 at the moment here, I think. I didn't exactly see those records there flash on the screen for you. But either way, a couple of home runs here by both teams in the first inning. So there is Nolan Arenado, who has been probably the best hitter on this team for the Vandals. I mean, 280 average for him, 24 homers. As there's a swing, and Gallo will go out to catch this ball right in front of the wall there near the winning shot. So that one went pretty far, but not far enough. So end of the first, 1 hit for both teams, 1 run. As we go into the bottom half, or the top of the second, and Joey Gallo, this is his first at-bat here as a Dragon on the road. And those are his numbers again, 24 homers and 52 RBIs, only a 221 average, but he's got a lot of power, and that's something that the Dragons don't have a ton of this season, and so looking to have him get a, add a power boost onto this team. Dragons up 2-1 here in the 4th. They strike out the first time for Gallo here, and Joey Gallo's going to pop this ball up, or, I mean, not really a pop-up, it's a regular fly ball over to left field. I mean, that's just how much power he has. A pop-up is going to go pretty far for him, but we're in the 7th, still a 2-1 game, and there's a grounder, and that one is picked up by the first baseman, and all the way from the mound, covering is Ian Anderson to make that play. So 0-for-3 for Gallo here in this one, but there's a single, and there's a triple by Josh Jung, so 3-1 LA here. As can the offense for Vancouver do anything? We got the bases loaded. Well, actually, we're in the top of the 8th. Bases are loaded for Joey Gallo. 0-for-3 in this bowl game. 2-2 pitch to Gallo is a swing and a drive. Crushed it into right field. And that ball is gone. It's a grand slam! First hit for him in a Dragon uniform is his 25th homer this season, and it's a grand slam to break the game open here in the 8th. So Joey Gallo bringing that much needed power back to or into this lineup for the Dragons, and that one was a no-doubter. 381 down the line. How about that grand slam? That's awesome. I love calling grand slams. We've actually had a couple of them here in the last couple of episodes in this custom league. But now either way, 7-3 score, and that is going to be the final here. The Dragons get another win. They're trying to achieve a playoff spot right now, and so every win at this point in the season matters, and they get this victory 7-3. Man, Atlanta tied the game up in real life as I'm recording this game here, or this video here, but again, there's a look at that box score and the big blow in that 8th inning, that grand slam. And so that is going to be that game here. And now we're going to go into one more kind of quick, or one more player lock situation here. And that is going to be controlling Antonio Sensatella. Nashville 65 wins on the season here. And I know we have kind of seen the Monarchs a little bit. Recently we saw they were playing in the last game, so I kind of do apologize for that. But this is when Antonio Sensatella was going to line up to pitch, and so I wanted to showcase him here. He was a kind of a more minor trade that happened at the deadline, but still an important guy for the Stars to put in their pitching rotation here. A 3.57 ERA going into this start against Kansas City. So one out here. 2-2 to Brandon Nimmo, and that ball just misses inside. Jordan Alvarez sitting on deck here. 3-2 now the count, and Alvarez, 275 average. Definitely don't want to mess with him. As here comes a 3-2 to Nimmo. It's a check swing, but he goes around, says home plate umpire. I don't know who the home plate umpire is, but he went around according to him there, and so that's an out there, number 2. And now a swing and a drive by Alvarez. That is going to be caught by Trout in center. So that'll end the top of the first inning, and that was a good one. A good scoreless, clean inning right there by Sensatella. As here comes Zach Gallen pitching for the Monarchs. And sorry if I sound a bit stuffy here. I've been a little bit sick over the weekend, it seems. I don't know if it was just allergies or what hit me, but I am back, not totally at full strength, but back as good as I can be at this point here. But anyway, Jose Abreu is up now, and Abreu crushes a ball deep center field. And man, Mike Trout just kept going back on it, and he just couldn't get to it. And Abreu is going to go all the way to third with a triple. That is his first one of the season. I was just about to say, probably doesn't have a lot of those this year. But, that ball was very close to being gone. A pretty deep outfield here in this ballpark. And, yeah, just over the glove of Trout there in center field. That, not really any hesitation right there from Jose Abreu. So now Longoria is up. 247 average for him with 13 home runs on the season. An excellent RBI chance here for him. And there's a line drive that falls in. That's a base hit. And that's a tie game. So Evan Longoria with RBI number 34 on the season. And it's a line drive base hit into right field. And, not an awful location there by Sensatella. Pitch down low in the zone. But it was just hit there well. And now Riley Green. And Riley Green tries to check his swing, but he goes around, according to that third base umpire there. And so that will end the top of the second. So a run for Kansas City on a couple of hits in that inning. Now we go to the third, still tied at 1. Brandon Nimmo up. And Nimmo's going to ground it into the gap here, into right. So this third inning will continue here with a base hit. Now a ground ball, and Abreu is going to get a single here back up into right field. So 2 hits in a row here with 2 outs in this inning. And now an interesting situation. Oh, now here's Jose Abreu is up now. And the first pitch here to Abreu is a swing and a drive out to deep left field, down the line, and it is gone! Jose Abreu with a triple and now the home run. 23rd of the season, a 3-run shot, and the Monarchs take a 4-1 lead. So the 2-out rally by the Monarchs here, a couple of singles, and then that big blow, the homer by Abreu. He knew it right away, and no doubter. And the only question for him was whether that one was going to go fair. 395 on the distance there over those palm trees in left field. So now a 4-1 game. Alex Dickerson, he is going to swing and miss on a fastball. Not a lot of velocity by Sensatello, only 95, 96 miles an hour with that fastball, but that is a strikeout. I mean, not a great inning for him, giving up that home run. Now a 3-run lead. But now we go into a quick manage here, and there's a run for Paul Goldschmidt, and then a double by DeYoung. And so a 3-spot by Nashville will tie it up just like that. And that's nice when you're pitching for a team like this. I mean, you're going to get the run support most of the time with one of the better offenses in baseball here in the Stars. And so that'll in the 4th inning. That's a ground out to Paul DeYoung there at second base. So middle of the 4th, and, you know, 4 runs, 5 hits. Not great. We'll try to get him one more inning here with 60 pitches on the ledger so far. There's a grounder down the line, and that's fair. It is going to roll all the way into the corner, and that's extra bases there. That's a double easy for Austin Nola. Only his 5th there of the season here, but Chris Taylor is up now, and Chris Taylor is going to swing and miss. There's a big one there. 3rd strikeout for Sensatello tonight, and that one is huge. As we get a look at this pitch again. And yeah, that was a pretty filthy curveball right there, actually. 10-inch break, 2,117 RPM on that baby. Now Brandon Nimmo is going to line it into the outfield here, and that one's going to fall in. And it's going to roll to the wall, so that's going to score Austin Nola, and Brandon Nimmo is going to get himself an RBI double. So there's the 21st for Nimmo of the season. And the Monarchs are up 5-4. So they regain the lead again here in this one. And now Abreu is up again. And Abreu is going to swing and miss that time. So Sensatello comes back to get the out there. And that'll end the top of the 5th inning. 7 hits, 5 runs. That's probably going to be the end of the line for Sensatello today. Not a great, unbelievable start. I mean, not awful either. So yeah, Antonio Sensatello relieved after that 5th inning there. And I mean, not expecting Antonio Sensatello to just be an absolute beast. I mean, he's outperforming expectations this year anyway. But you know, that's a decent start. 7-4 here. Kansas City is on top, and there's a 2-run home run by Francisco Lindor. You can never count this offense out, man. There's a base hit. There's another one. And a 4-run, bottom of the 7th, has now put Nashville ahead, 7-8, and then they add another run. So now they're up by 2 here, 7-9. And we are going to go into the top of the 9th inning with Paul Fry pitching, and Austin Nola coming up to the plate. And this is a big spot here. Austin Nola's going to ground it over to Davis at 3rd base, and there's the throw to 1st. So 1 down really quickly here for Paul Fry in this 9th inning. As Nashville, they could get win number 66 here on the season for them. Brandon Nimmo, 2 for 4 on the day. He's already got an Ribby this year. 2 down in the inning. As there's a grounder over to Goldschmidt. He picks it up. He's going to go to tag. Nola going to, or not Nola, he's just going to tag. The runner going to first base, Brandon Nimmo. I don't know why I blinked on his name there for a minute, but the Stars get the victory here. That's win number 66 for them this season. And, I mean, they just continue to be the best team in the National League. One of the best teams, record-wise, in baseball. Probably will lock up. And, I mean, that's what they're gunning for, is that first overall spot in the postseason here. But either way, that was Antonio Sensatello's first start as a Nashville Star. Could have gone better for him. You know, it wasn't great, wasn't necessarily awful either. He did get 5 innings, which is all right, but I don't believe he's not going to get credit for the win in this game, or does not get credit for a loss, of course, either. But again, there's a look again at that final out, a 9-7 win for the Nashville Stars here. So there's a look at kind of the box score. You got Abreu, who was 2 for 4. Nola was 2 for 4 as well in this bowl game. Josh Taylor also had a home run there, 36 RBIs now for him. And Nimmo also had an RBI. So within the pitching, you know, Zach Gallen, all right, 5 innings for him, 4 runs allowed. The bullpen for Kansas City in this game really struggled, man. I mean, everybody that they trotted out there in the bullpen gave up a run at least. And then Paul Goldschmidt, 77 RBIs for him. Jeong got a couple. Trunk got his 74th ribby. And Lindor got a few RBIs as well in this game. I mean, this offense for Nashville is just incredible. And, I mean, another great game from them here. And then again, 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. So that ERA didn't really change. I guess it went up quite a bit. It was at 3.57 before, and now it's up to 3.75. But that's kind of what I expect the ERA to be for a guy like Antonio Senzatella anyway, is, you know, 3.75. Under 4 ERA for Senzatella is exactly what you're kind of looking for. That's about what you know, that's kind of his, maybe not his ceiling, but that is certainly, you wouldn't expect him to do much more than that. But now we go into a game here with the Bees and the Spiders. And the Spiders here at home. Spiders not really having a good season. Meanwhile, the Bees still fighting in this division here in the NL West for that top spot. And Ronald Acuna Jr. is there looking at his numbers. 236 average for him on the season. So again, I mean, I've said this before. His average is low, but his home runs and his RBIs are not. So, I mean, he's still probably the best hitter on this team for Salt Lake. But, you know, his averages and his on-base is not unbelievable. But either are going to get into a full game here between these two teams. Nick Madrigal, 277 average for him, leading off things for Salt Lake. Brandon Waddell pitching for San Francisco, and Waddell has just not been good this season. I'll just put it that way. A near 7 ERA, you saw it there. His number is just not good at all. So there's a strikeout and a big one. And there's a look at, you know, that pitch sequence there. So Acuna with the man on second base here. There's a fastball that misses. So the count is 3-1. Teoscar Hernandez sitting on deck. That 253 average for him this season. He's been a good hitter as well in this Salt Lake City lineup. Here's a 3-1, and Acuna is going to drive it into the gap, and it is caught, though, by the right fielder there, almost over his glove, but it's caught there. So man goes to third base with 2 down now in the inning. And here's a look at this lineup. You got Madrigal there, Joey Wendell batting second, Acuna batting third, Teoscar, Luis Torrens, who they just called up recently from the minors, batting fifth, Yolo Pazzo, DJ Stewart, who they traded for, Elias Diaz, and Anderson Simmons in that lineup there. They're first and stolen bases, if you saw that at the bottom of their lineup. But there's Teoscar, Hernandez, you know, more home runs and more RBIs at home, but a lower average for him, a 253 average overall. And Teoscar's going to send this ball deep to left field, and that ball is going to bounce off the wall out there in left. And Teoscar Hernandez is going to make his way over to second base as the throw to second was a little bit offline. So that's a 17th double for Hernandez, and Salt Lake up 1-0. So there's a ground ball over to first, and that is going to be a step on the bag there to end the inning. But again, Teoscar with a big-time double. The Bees with a hit and a run here at the top of the first to go up 1-0. But the big reason that we're focusing in on this bowl game is Miles Mikolas. Again, traded from the Gamblers, I believe, and 3.61 ERA for him, 128 innings so far, 1.16 whip. I mean, very, very good numbers. But, you know, it's what Salt Lake needs. a boost in their pitching staff as Ozzie Albies coming up. 300 average for him, 19 homers to 52 ribbies. The best hitter on this San Francisco team by far. And Michaelis will get his day started here in Salt Lake, or in San Francisco, with a strikeout. There's his first one as a member of the Salt Lake City Bees, and that was a really great pitch. And I mean, that's what the Bees need. Their offense is a little alright, it's a little lackluster, but man, they get a boost in their pitching staff. They just needed something to make this final push in their division to try and win their division, because that's really the only way they're going to get to the postseason. I would expect the wild card seems to be too competitive for them to not do it. There's Ozzie Albies, Adley Rutschman, Tyler O'Neill, Trey Mancini there batting fourth, Kirk Casale, Jeremy Pena, Nomar Mazara, Mundo Sosa, and Nico Goodrum. And they did get Mundo Sosa. This San Francisco team did at the trade deadline as well, so keep that in mind. It debuts for quite a few players here in this bowl game, including Michaelis, of course. But there's a fly ball, and that one's deep into center. Wow, at the wall. Acuna does get there to make the catch, so that'll end the first. And here's DJ Stewart, 245 average, 804 OPS, 9 home runs, and 22 RBIs. First at bat as a B is a strikeout. Swing and miss there at a slider. And, I mean, hey, it's alright, and not your first at bat with your new team isn't always going to turn out well for you. But we're dealt with his second K. And, yeah, that slider, that fourth pitch, or that third pitch was what needed to be crushed right there. I mean, it was a slider in the zone. There's a fly ball. It's in foul territory, or right on the line in foul territory. Caught out there in right. And, I mean, I always feel like I should know who that is out there, but I always feel like I don't remember his name. Kirk Casale up here, bottom of the second. Full count pitch to Casale is a drive in a deep right center field. Acuna on his horse. Acuna at the wall, and he can't get there in time to rob it. That's a home run from Kirk Casale. It's his 15th of the season, and we are tied at 1. Casale has had a pretty nice season, actually, as this team's catcher. And there is his 15th long ball of the year. And I think that was a fastball there, but it got too much of the plate, whatever pitch it was. And, yeah, just getting over the glove there of Acuna, who could not get to the wall in time. As that's a grounder to end the second inning. But we are tied here, knotted up at 1 after that home run by Casale. And there's a look at the swings. So both teams with a hit and a run through 2 innings in this bowl game tonight. Here is Andrelton Simmons coming up. 266 average, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, only a 663 OPS. Not a starter for Salt Lake this year. Here in the top of the third, Waddell going back to work. And the first pitch to Simmons is a ball absolutely crushed deep to left field. Simmons lays that bat down, and that ball is gone. Wow, Andrelton Simmons doesn't get a lot of playing time for the Bees. Only his 4th homer of the year. But it gives Salt Lake the lead here in the 3rd inning. It's 2-1. So that's a huge swing right there from Simmons. And let's take one more look at it. And I mean, that was a no-doubter. A blast right there from Andrelton Simmons. How about that? 409 feet. 2 straightaway left. So 2 down in the inning for Acuna here. And Acuna is going to take that fastball for a strike. 0 for 1. Line out in his first at-bat back in the 1st inning here. As let's see what Waddell comes with on this 0-1 to Acuna. And Acuna will drive it. It's a slider down low towards the wall. And it is gone! Just over and off the facing in right center field. And Ronald Acuna Jr. leaves the building. That's 25 on the year for him. And, I mean, the power, he's got the power here and just cannot mess around with Ronald Acuna Jr. A 3-1 lead now for Salt Lake. And that was not even a bad pitch right there at all from Brandon Waddell. But it doesn't matter. Acuna just so good. Just can take the ball out of the ballpark. I mean, anywhere that it's pitched, basically. 410 on the distance. And there's a line drive. Oh my, what a play by Edmundo Sosa at short. That was incredible right there. Look at this full-out extension. The Bees get a couple of runs, though, in that third inning off of 2 solo homers, though. So it's a 3-1 game as they go to the middle of the third, but that was a fantastic play. Now Miles Michaelis pitching here in the third, and there's a called third strike on the corner. Beautiful pitch by Michaelis, and he gets through the third inning here. That's his second strikeout tonight. Now we go to the bottom of the fourth. Still a 3-1 game. Now a swing and a miss. Tyler O'Neill cannot connect. Third of the game for Michaelis now, and here's Trey Mancini. 0 for 1 in the game, and Mancini is going to drive it shallow center, and on the run, making the play is Acuna there in center field. So that's the end of the fourth. Still pitching well is Michaelis here, and here's Joey Wendell to start the top of the fifth. Wendell here is a 0-2 from Waddell, and there's a line drive, or not a line drive, but a blooper that will fall in to the outfield for a single. So that's the 67th pitch for Brandon Waddell here, and that actually is going to be the end of the line for him in this bowl game. They're going to pull the plug on him. A little bit of a quick plug, you would think, in this game, but I mean, Waddell just hasn't been good this season. That wasn't any terrible start for him, to be honest, but he gets the pull here in the fifth inning. Christian Javier, who has been absolutely filthy out of the bullpen, man. 274 innings at 2.18 ERA. I mean, ridiculous numbers. There's a swing and a miss, and so Acuna will get, well, the fastball goes right by him here for a strikeout. And you look at that pitch sequence there, a couple of sliders to start the at-bat, actually 3 of them in a row. Then it went outside of that circle change, finishing with that high fastball. So now Teoscar is up, and he's going to take that pitch down low, below the knees for a 3-2 count. As now the 3-2, there's a swing and a miss. A slider, strike 3. 2 here in this inning now. And a big-time strikeout right there. A slide with an 8-inch break, a 2,087 RPM. Filthy. 2 down here now in the inning, and there's a fly ball out to the outfield. Pretty deep left field, but that is caught. Man, I just saw Acuna steal 70 bases, and then the Braves walking off. That was a crazy game. So, anyway, back to recording here in this game. And in this video, but we're in the 6th inning now. Elias Diaz looks at that slider. That one catches the bottom of the zone for another strikeout here for Christian Javier, who has just been punching people out left and right since he's come into the bowl game. And now it's Anderson Simmons up again. Simmons is going to line one to third base. There's one there, and it's a double play. Good pick at first. Game remains 3-1. Miles Michaelis still pitching really good here so far. There's a swing and a miss. As there's, I think, 4 or 5 strikeouts for Michaelis tonight. And here's Ozzie Albies, 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts in this one for him. 1-2 pitch. A fly ball out to the outfield here, but it's going to be handled by Teoscar and right. So that's the end of the 6th. And man, Miles Michaelis, he's having a really good debut. I wonder if they're going to have him try to pitch in the 7th. They might, but either way, 6 really good innings. I think only 1 or 2 hits that he's allowed in this whole game so far. So Anthony Dominguez out of the bullpen for the Spiders, who has not been that great in 18 innings. A 6 ERA for him. Joey Wendell at the plate here for the Bees. There's a fastball that is in there for strike 3. So Dominguez gets to out number 2. And there's a swing and a miss. Teoscar late on a fastball. So Dominguez comes in, gets a couple of strikeouts. But the Spiders' offense has been virtually non-existent so far. 1 hit, 1 run, That's all they've gotten in 6 innings to this point. So they're going to need something to happen here against Miles Mikolas, only at 77 pitches. As there's a line drive, that's deep to left field, and it is off of the glove of the outfielder there, all the way to third base goes the hitter, and it's going to be a triple, I think, by Tyler O'Neill, the 5th triple of the game, or of the season for O'Neill, but that was a very strange play right there. DJ Stewart had a little trouble with that baseball, and it bounced off of his glove and then hit him in the head. That was an interesting animation right there, and so that will score a run as that's a ground out to shortstop. That's one of the weirdest things that I've seen in this game in a while. That was a very interesting sequence of events right there, but San Francisco will come back. They're only down by 1 now. Here's Kirk Casale, who, of course, had that home run in his first at-bat, his first at-bat of the game. There's a line drive here, and back almost over the wall. Wow, right off of it. And Casale is going to go into second base. Man, he's responsible for almost all the offense today. His 5th double of the season. Responsible for the home run, the double. 2 of the 3 hits. But that is going to be the end of the game for Miles Mikolas, who almost pitched a full 7 innings. 6.2 innings in this one, 4 or 5 strikeouts, only 3 hits allowed in this game. 2 runs that he allowed so far. He's responsible for the catcher Casale on second base, but Alex Reyes will try and keep that runner right there. As it's a ground ball, there's a stop by the first baseman, and they go back to the pitcher, Reyes, to end the 7th inning. So that means that Mikolas will get the win if the Salt Lake City Bees can hold on, and their bullpen-wise at least. So yeah, it'll be 6.2 innings, 2 runs, 3 hits. Really good start by Miles Mikolas in this one. So here's Torrens, who is 0 for 2 in this game, still searching for that first hit of the season. 2-1 here is a line drive, and that's it right there. A ground ball into the outfield, all the way to the wall, and Luis Torrens, his first hit of this season since a call-up by Salt Lake, is a double into the left center gap. So man in scoring position for Yahel Pazzo, who is going to take a slider there right on the corner. And man, that was a good pitch by Dominguez. Just caught the black. And now here's DJ Stewart. 0 for 1, a hit by pitch in the game. Doesn't have a hit yet today in his debut for Salt Lake. 2-1, ground ball over to first base. And that's out number 2. The runner will move from second to third. So now 90 feet away, the Bees will try to add on some insurance here in this bowl game right now. As here is Elias Diaz. He's 0 for 1, or 0 for 3 in the game with a strikeout. 2-2 here. And there's another one. Swing and a miss. Fastball inside corner. Great pitch right there by Dominguez, who got a few strikeouts, 4 of them in his 2 innings of relief, and didn't give up any runs. So 8 hits for the Bees. They don't add on to their lead. 6 more outs is all they need to get here in this one. So we go to the bottom of the 8th, and Alex Reyes is still on the mound here pitching, and that ball misses inside for ball 4. So now here's Edmundo Sosa, and Edward Olivares is actually coming on as a pinch runner for the Bees, or for the Spiders, I mean, here in this spot. 2-1, and a ground ball to Reyes, who takes care of it. He goes to second for 1 on to first base, and it is a double play. Man, what a big double play that was right there, actually turned by this Bees infield, started by Alex Reyes. So no hits by the Spiders in that inning, and crucially no runs. So down to the final 3 outs, and they're going to have to get something against Taylor Rogers, who's been almost perfect in save opportunities this year. 31 out of 33 chances, 35.7 innings, a 24 strikeouts and 10 walks, a 3.57 ERA. Really good averages against. He's a good closer, man. So it's going to be Ozzy Albies. It's 1-2-3 in this batting order, so that's a spot to try to make a comeback. 2-2 is a grounder over to second here, over to short, actually. Anderson Simmons shifted over, gets out number 1. And I'll be 0 for 4 tonight as Tyler O'Neill will come on. 1 for 3, a triple. And another final out here in this game. There's a fly ball. It's pretty deep by into left center field. And Stewart is going to get there to make the catch. Well, he didn't get a hit in his Speed's debut, but he makes the final out there in the outfield. And the Bees get this win. I'm not sure how many they have on the season now, but every win now at this point in the season really matters as we're getting down to crunch time in this franchise here, the last couple of months of the season. But a 3-2 win. The Bees got that 3-1 lead in, I believe, the 3rd inning, and they never looked back in this game. The pitching was excellent for them tonight. And, I mean, Simmons and Acuna, 2 big home runs by the Bees there. Amazing play by Sosa at short again. But there's one of those strikeouts that Dominguez had in this game. And then there's one more. Here's one more look at that final out by DJ Stewart. The Bees finished the game with 9 hits, and the Spiders only with 3. And the Spiders, they're just not a great team. Their offense isn't all that exciting. But, Brandon Woodell, 4 innings and 6 hits, only 3 earned runs. Not a bad performance, but the win goes to Miles Michaelis. Player of the game is Ronald Acuna Jr. with his 2 for 4 at night with that home run that he had and that RBI. Anderson Simmons actually also went 2 for 4 with a homer and a ribby as well. And so Acuna, 25 home runs. He's got 67 ribbies now on the season. And Teoscar Hernandez also got an RBI in this ball game. DJ Stewart did not do anything in his Bees debut offensively. He was 0 for 2. He did get hit by a pitch, so he reached base once, but nothing other than that for Stewart. And, of course, getting the out in the outfield there as well. But there's a look at that box score. Look at some of the RBIs by each of these teams here, or by the Bees at least. And then you go down to the pitching, and Michaelis, 6.2 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. That ERA lowered to 3.14. 1.1 innings for Reyes, 32 saves for Taylor Rogers. Lowered his ERA down to 3.47. I mean, can't ask for much more out of Miles Michaelis there. An excellent start for his first start in Salt Lake. So, guys, that is going to do it from me here. You get to look at what the offense for San Francisco did. Casale had a double. O'Neill had the triple. Casale also had the home run and an RBI as well. An RBI also went to Trey Mancini in this game for San Francisco. But that is going to be it from me, everybody, here in this one. Thank you guys for watching this episode. And remember to subscribe to the channel to be notified when I'm continuing to come out with more videos, everybody. So next time on this channel, we're going to be playing the playoffs in the Marlins franchise. We'll be kind of finishing out that playoff race as we'll be kind of focusing on those playoffs for as long as the Marlins are in them going forward in that franchise. And then we'll go back to this connected league here to finish out the season here. But either way, thank you guys for watching this one. I am Lucas from Mars. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you guys for watching, and God bless.